Did you know that some roads are designed to make you question every life choice that led you to getting behind the wheel? Today, we're counting down the 10 most absolutely terrifying roads in the world that probably should have warning labels instead of speed limit signs. Number 10. Atlantic Ocean Road, Møre og Romsdal County, Norway. Starting off our list with something that looks like a postcard but drives like a nightmare. The Atlantic Ocean Road in Norway is a series of bridges that zigzag across the Atlantic Ocean, and it's been nicknamed the Road to Nowhere, for reasons that become terrifyingly clear when you're actually on it. This road looks absolutely stunning in travel brochures, all peaceful blue waters and scenic coastal views. But here's what they don't tell you. This thing gets absolutely hammered by Atlantic storms. We're talking waves so big they crash over the bridges while you're driving on them. Your car literally gets hit by ocean waves while you're supposedly on a road. The Norwegian engineers who designed this apparently thought, let's build a road that gets attacked by the ocean. When storms hit, it's like driving through a car wash, except the car wash is the entire Atlantic Ocean trying to sweep you away. The bridges twist and turn in ways that make you feel like you're riding a roller coaster, except roller coasters have safety harnesses, and this just has your seatbelt. It's the kind of place where GPS probably just gives up and says, good luck. Number 9. Tianmen Mountain Road, 99 Bends, Zhangjiajie, China. Moving on to something that redefined what the Chinese consider reasonable road engineering. The Tianmen Mountain Road features exactly 99 hairpin bends climbing up a steep mountain to reach the famous Tianmen Cave. Yes, someone literally counted the turns and thought, 99 seems like a perfectly normal number of ways to potentially die on one road. This isn't just a winding mountain road. It's like someone took a normal road, put it in a blender, and then hung the result on the side of a cliff. Each of those 99 bends has sheer cliffs on one side and solid rock on the other, with absolutely zero margin for error. Miss a turn by even a few inches and you're not just off the road, you're airborne. The road climbs so steeply that looking up from the bottom you can't see where it ends. It's like driving up the side of a skyscraper, except skyscrapers usually have elevators and this just has your increasingly questionable driving skills. Number 8. North Yungas Road, or Death Road, Bolivia. Here's where we get into roads that don't hide what they're about. The North Yungas Road in Bolivia is literally called Death Road, and unlike most dramatic nicknames, this one is completely accurate. This narrow dirt road hangs off the side of a mountain between La Paz and Coroico, with drops of over 2,000 feet straight down. Before they built a bypass, this road was killing hundreds of people every year. Hundreds per year. That's not a road, that's a death trap with a speed limit. The road is so narrow that when two vehicles meet going opposite directions, one of them has to back up until they find a slightly wider spot. Imagine playing reverse chicken 2,000 feet above a canyon floor. The people who built this apparently thought, safety regulations? Never heard of them. It's carved into a cliff face with no guardrails, no shoulders, and no forgiveness for mistakes. The locals used to call it their daily commute. The rest of us call it insanity. This road literally earned the nickname Death Road through pure statistics. And when your road has a body count, maybe it's time to reconsider the design. Number 7. Fairy Meadows Road, Gilgit-Baltistan, Pakistan. Don't let the pretty name fool you. The Fairy Meadows Road is where fairy tales go to die. And this unpaved nightmare is barely one vehicle wide and literally carved into a cliff face with absolutely no guardrails. It's like someone took a mountain, scratched a line into it with a stick, and said, good enough, let's call it a road. The road is so narrow that meeting another vehicle means someone's backing up for potentially miles until you find a spot wide enough for two cars. And by wide enough, I mean slightly less likely to kill you both. The drop-offs are so steep that looking down gives you vertigo even from inside your car. Pakistani engineers basically said, let's build a road that makes people question the concept of roads entirely. It's not just dangerous for cars, it's terrifying for motorcycles. And even walking it feels like a death wish. The fact that people regularly drive this thing proves that humans will literally drive anywhere if you call it a road. Number 6. Zojila Pass, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Welcome to the Zojila Pass, where Indian engineers decided to build a road at over 11,000 feet altitude in an area that actively tries to kill anything that moves. This high-altitude pass is constantly hit by landslides, snow, and weather conditions that make driving feel like extreme sports. Here's the thing about Zojila Pass. It's literally closed in winter because vehicles slide off the edge. Not might slide off, they actually slide off regularly enough that they just close the whole road rather than deal with the cleanup. It's It's like they built a road and then realized, oh wait, physics still applies up here. The road has zero room to maneuver, which becomes a problem when you're surrounded by ice, snow, and the constant threat of rock slides. It's the kind of place where your car's traction control just gives up and your GPS probably displays a crying emoji. The people who built this road apparently thought, let's build a road where the weather is actively trying to murder everyone. And then they built it in one of the most unstable mountain regions on Earth. Number 5. Guoliang Tunnel Road, Taihang Mountains, China. Here's where human determination meets complete engineering insanity. The Guoliang Tunnel Road was carved by hand by local villagers into a vertical cliff face. It took them 5 years to chisel this death trap using primitive tools, which means they had 5 years to realize this was a terrible idea and they just kept going anyway. This isn't just a tunnel, it's a winding, twisting horror show carved through solid rock with windows that open directly onto 100-foot drops. These aren't scenic overlooks. They're holes in the mountain where you can look down and see exactly how far you'd fall if things go wrong. The Chinese villagers who built this apparently thought, let's spend 5 years creating the most terrifying commute possible. The tunnel twists and turns through the cliff face, and those window openings mean you're constantly reminded that you're inside a mountain, with nothing but air on the other side. It's like driving through a cave system, except caves usually don't have traffic and vertical drops every few hundred feet. Number 4. James Dalton Highway, Alaska, USA. Moving on to something that made truckers famous for having nerves of steel. The James Dalton Highway stretches 414 miles from Fairbanks to Dead Horse, Alaska, and it's basically 414 miles of frozen, remote, unpaved wilderness that actively hates everything with wheels. This road was made famous by ice road truckers, and if you've seen that show, you know exactly why it's on this list. We're talking about ice, blizzards, total isolation, and bears. Bears, as in, if your car breaks down, you might become a wildlife snack before help arrives. The road conditions change from terrible to impossible depending on the weather. And the weather in Alaska includes things like whiteout blizzards and temperatures that can freeze your car solid. It's 414 miles of pure survival driving where the biggest danger isn't other drivers. It's the road itself trying to kill you. Alaskan engineers basically said, let's build a road where breaking down means you might die of exposure. And then they built it in one of the most remote, hostile environments on Earth. Number 3, Skipper's Canyon Road, Otago Region, New Zealand. Here's where New Zealand's natural beauty meets automotive terror. Skipper's Canyon Road is a narrow dirt track carved into steep cliffs with no railings, vertical drops, and sheer walls that make you feel like you're driving through a canyon that's actively trying to crush you. This road is so dangerous that rental car companies specifically prohibit driving on it. Think about that. Rental car companies who will rent cars to literally anyone with a credit card have looked at this road and said, absolutely not. When rental car companies are worried about your safety, you know you're in trouble. The road clings to cliff faces with drops so steep that looking down makes your brain refuse to process what it's seeing. It's like driving on a ledge that someone optimistically called a road, with just enough room for one vehicle and zero room for mistakes. New Zealand engineers apparently thought, let's build a road so terrifying that insurance companies won't touch it. Mission accomplished. The scenery is absolutely stunning, assuming you can keep your eyes open long enough to see it without having a panic attack. Number 2. Sani Pass, South Africa, Lesotho border. Welcome to the Sani Pass, where South African engineers decided to test the limits of what constitutes a passable road. This rocky mountain pass rises to 9,400 feet, with hairpin turns so extreme they challenge even experienced 4x4 drivers. And yes, you need a 4x4. Regular cars don't just struggle here, they literally cannot make it. The pass features switchbacks so tight and steep that you're constantly convinced you're about to roll backwards down the mountain. It's beautiful scenery, but here's the thing. If you mess up, you fall. It's that simple. There are no second chances, no guardrails, and no forgiveness for driver error. The engineers who built this basically said, let's create a road that doubles as an extreme sports activity. The hairpin turns are so sharp that you're constantly turning the steering wheel like you're parallel parking. Except you're parallel parking at 9,400 feet with 1,000-foot drops on multiple sides. It's the kind of place where even experienced mountain drivers take one look and start sweating. Number 1. Bayburt D 915 Road, Turkey. And here we have the most absolutely terrifying road on our entire list. The The Bayburt D915 road in Turkey isn't just scary. Experts actually rate it as more dangerous than Bolivia's famous Death Road. Let that sink in for a moment. Remember Death Road? This is worse. We're talking about 29 dangerous hairpin turns with no guardrails, loose gravel, sheer cliffs, and unpredictable weather at high altitude. But here's what makes this road the most insane of all. It combines every single terrifying element from every other road on this list into one concentrated nightmare. The road surface is loose gravel and dirt, which means your tires are constantly searching for traction they'll never find. The turns are so sharp and numerous that you lose count, and each one is a potential death sentence. There are no safety barriers, no shoulders, and no room for error. But here's the kicker. This road is still used regularly by locals who need to get from point A to point B. It's not a tourist attraction or an extreme sports venue. It's infrastructure that happens to be more dangerous than most extreme sports. The Turkish engineers who built this apparently thought, let's take everything that makes roads dangerous and put it all in one place. 29 hairpin turns of pure terror, where one mistake means you're not just off the road, you're off the mountain. This road represents the ultimate combination of practical necessity and engineering nightmares. It's not just scary to drive, it's actively trying to kill you with every single turn. And that's what makes it the most terrifying road in the world. And there you have it. The 10 most absolutely terrifying roads that'll make your palms sweat just thinking about them. From Norway's wave-battered ocean road to Turkey's 29-turn death trap, these roads prove that sometimes the journey really is more dangerous than the destination. Which one of these roads made you grip your steering wheel just watching? Let me know in the comments below, and if you know any nightmare roads from your country that we missed, drop those in the comments too. We might just make a part 2 featuring roads that are somehow even more terrifying than these. If this video made you grateful for boring, safe, normal roads with guardrails and proper pavement, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to Fact Shock for more mind-blowing content, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and remember, next time you're complaining about a pothole or construction delays, at least you're not navigating 29 hairpin turns on loose gravel with 1,000-foot drops on both sides. Sometimes boring is exactly what you want. We'll see you in the next one, and hopefully it'll be on a road with actual safety features.